Every hockey player has a story to tell.
I always kiss my helmet before I go on.
How much time they spent on the ice.
13 years.
To what they do before the big game.
I've seen some things that I'm not going to tell you.
We're here to take you inside the rink and check out the people,
My home rink at Cheshire, Connecticut.
the culture,
You guys been sharpening my skates for 10 years now.
the friendships, and the fun. After all, Connecticut hockey is not just a sport, it is a way of life. This is all about the one big family that knows you just gotta love Connecticut hockey. Welcome to Gotta Love Connecticut Hockey. I'm your host, Kristen Liebisch, and today we travel around Connecticut to join in on the winter fun. Coming up on today's episode, youth hockey players tell us what makes a great hockey player, who they think the best superhero turned hockey player would be, and what keeps them coming back to the rink each season. We traveled to Quinnipiac University to meet with Rand Pecknold, head coach of the Quinnipiac Bobcats men's hockey team. And in our featured drill, Ben Smith, right wing for the Chicago Blackhawks, shares the Boston College warm-up drill, a great way to get your players warmed up before the big game. Let's go check it out. How old were you when you first put on your hockey skates?
4. When I was 4. 4, I think.
4 years old.
It was about 6 or 7.
When I was 2. 4, I guess. When I was 3. A year ago? 5, I think.
And did they ever hurt your feet?
No.
Never?
They killed my feet, yeah.
What did you do about that?
I just broke them in. Kept using them. Bought new skates.
I used to have to soak my feet in Epsom salts, actually.
I don't remember them hurting my feet, but I remember learning to skate with a chair in front of me.
What do you think makes a great hockey player?
I'm stuck. Can we go on to the next one? Sportsmanship. Good effort and hard work. They pass. Stick handling. I still don't know. Confidence. Be on a team. Teamwork.
I think you have to work through the hard times. Things aren't going the way that you want them to go, and you have to persevere, and that's one of the things we say every day before a game. We're going to persevere every practice. Work hard. You make mistakes, you learn from them. That's okay.
What is your favorite thing about cross-ice hockey?
Playing 3-on-3. Passing. It's fast-paced. And it's really fun.
Do you have a couple of favorite things?
Oh, I'm kind of stuck here. That you can get more breakaways. That you get to skate when we do shootouts. Having fun.
Obviously the touches, more kids on the ice, the skating and the touching of the puck. With the fewer kids getting a chance to touch the puck, more of them have it, and so that really helps in their skill development.
There's a lot of puck touches. The kids get a lot of time to touch the puck. It's usually only 3-on-3, 4-on-4. They can work as more of a close-knit unit.
What's your hockey background like?
Well, I grew up playing in Glastonbury, Connecticut with the boys program, and then they merged with Wethersfield and became Central Connecticut Youth Hockey. And I played with them through age Pee-wee. And then I went on to Loomis Chaffee and played with a girls' team in high school and played for Dartmouth College. And then in 1998, I played with the U.S. Women's Olympic Hockey Team and won a gold medal in Nagano, Japan.
Wow, that's amazing. So how did you become a boys hockey coach, and what's that like for you now?
Well, I became involved with Watertown Youth Hockey through my own son, who's a squirt. He's involved in this tournament here this weekend as well. And we needed a Pee-wee coach, and I thought that was a great age group to work with. They've been a really great group of boys so far, and we're really looking forward to our first game together.
I'm here with Joanne from Echo and Scott from Northeastern for our Gotta Love Connecticut Hockey Trivia. Our first question is, in what year was the first ice resurfacer invented? Is it 1921, 1935, 1949, or 1954? We have Joanne with 1954 and Scott with 1935. The correct answer is 1949. To complete one full ice cut, how far must the Zamboni travel? Is it a quarter mile, a half mile, 3/4 of a mile, or 1 mile? When we come back, find out the answer. This program is made possible in part by contributions from Connecticut Hockey Conference. Connecticut Hockey Conference is responsible for developing youth hockey and happy, healthy kids all winter long across Connecticut. For more information on how you can join the winter fun, go to cthockey.org. Connecticut Hockey Conference is Connecticut's USA hockey affiliate and a proud supporter of Gotta Love Connecticut Hockey. Gotta love Connecticut Hockey! Before the break, we asked, to complete one full ice cut, how far must the Zamboni travel? Is it a quarter mile, a half mile, 3/4 of a mile, or 1 mile? We have Joanne with a quarter mile, and we have Scott with 1/4 mile. The correct answer is 3/4 of a mile. Rand Pecknold, head coach of the Quinnipiac University men's hockey team, has been involved in Connecticut hockey for many years. He began playing for Connecticut College, where he assisted coaching after graduation, and then moved to Quinnipiac, where he has been the head coach for 19 years. Let's meet Coach Pecknold. Hi, Rand. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us today.
Thanks for having me on.
So what is your role here at Quinnipiac?
I'm the head men's ice hockey coach, so I coach the hockey team and run the entire organization from coordinating practices, games, fundraisers. We do a lot of charity work in the area trying to help out local charities. And then a big part of my responsibility and my two assistant coaches, Bill Regan and Reed Cashman, is the recruiting aspect of it. It takes an amazing amount of time to recruit one student athlete to come to Quinnipiac. It's very competitive.
How and when did you know that you wanted to become a coach?
Well, I kind of fell into the job. My plan was always to go to law school, and I graduated from Connecticut College, and I was going to take a year off and then go. One thing led to another, and my head coach was Doug Roberts at the time, and he had asked me to come back and be an assistant there. And I wasn't really ready to go to law school at the time, so I did it, and I loved it, absolutely loved it, and fell in love with it. So I guess that would be my first year of coaching at Connecticut College as an assistant, which would have been 21 years ago.
Going into your 2012-2013 season, you're ranked top 10 in the NCAA Division I active coaches for most wins. How did you become so successful at coaching?
I've had a lot of good players over the years. I've had some great assistants that do a great job recruiting those players, and we've had phenomenal hockey players. That's why we win a lot of games. Good kids, they go to class, they have good grades, they stay out of trouble.
And how do you deal with your players on the bench when you're losing?
What you want to do is remain calm and focused and be a presence on the bench. Certainly that's tough to do if you're getting mad, or you get mad at the officials, or mad at some of the players that aren't doing what they need to do. But I think that if you can try to remain calm and positive, I think most of the coaching that you do to get ready for that game is done during the week. And once you drop the puck, the kids are going to play. You definitely can tweak some things in between periods and make some adjustments on the chalkboard and what you want to do. But ultimately, once the puck drops, the kids need to play. They need to play your systems, and they need to battle, and they need to compete.
You get to coach or assistant coach your son, who is 7, correct?
Correct.
What is it like going from like a spectrum of 7-year-old hockey to college player hockey?
It's a big difference. You know, I enjoy getting on the ice. My last year was 6, playing Mite Bees for the Riverhawks. I enjoyed it. It's fun. It's definitely a different mindset. When you're coaching at this level, Division I, NCAA Division I, you need to be hard on your guys. You need to treat them fairly, but you got to be tough on them. And there's a lot at stake. I think the players want to be treated that way. They want to be pushed. When you got 6 and 7-year-olds, it's a little more about fun. We definitely want skill development and teach them skating and some different drills and stuff. We also want to make sure they have fun. And I think a big part of hockey's problem right now at the younger ages, they have so many sports to play. They can go play golf, they can go play lacrosse, and so you want to captivate the kids at a young age. They love coming to the rink. They want to stay with hockey, because some of those kids at 6 or 7 that are just okay players might actually be that kid that at 18 is going to go to the NHL. You see it a lot of late bloomers. But if we lose that kid to another sport, it's not going to happen. So we want to keep as many kids involved in the game. You want to make it fun for them.
What advice can you give to Connecticut hockey coaches?
They really need to prepare and think about what they're going to do for a practice plan. It's pretty obvious at times those coaches are getting on the ice and just kind of winging it. And ice time is so precious, and you need to take advantage of every second you get, whether it's a 15-minute practice or an hour practice. And you need to be organized, and your assistant coaches need to know the game plan. So you get on the ice, and it's go, go, go. So you're not going to waste a second.
What advice can you give to Connecticut hockey parents?
Let the coaches coach. Try not to be too intense on your kids. Now that I'm a parent and I see this, and I thought we had a phenomenal group of parents with the Mite Be Riverhawks last year. I was really impressed with them. There was a couple of dads that got a little wound up at times, and I would always just say to them, hey, they're 6 years old, they're 7 years old. You just need to let it play out, let it back off, don't worry about things so much. That kid at 7, 8, 9 years old, that's a middle of the pack kid, he might be the one who plays in the NHL one day. It's not the superstar that's at the top of the rung. So make sure they have fun, let them be kids, and just ease up a little bit maybe on the intensity. It's great to be a parent that wants your son or daughter to do well, but I don't think you need to be overbearing on that.
What is the best dream that you've had recently?
I really don't know. I don't think I've had a lot of favorite dreams.
Do you have any last night?
No.
Nightmares?
No. Getting every Lego set in the world. I've had so many hat tricks.
How many did you have?
16.
16 is a lot of hat tricks. How long did it take you to get all of them?
An hour.
You scored them all in one game?
Won the state champions.
Playing in the NHL to become a pro hockey player. Being a professional hockey player.
Who'd you play for?
Flyers. Flyers. Rangers.
As a youth hockey player, Ben Smith shared the same dreams as many of today's youth players. Ben, a Connecticut native, was able to accomplish those dreams by playing for Boston College and the Chicago Blackhawks. Today, Ben shares his Boston College warm-up drill with us. Let's go check it out.
My name is Ben Smith from the Chicago Blackhawks, and I'm originally from Avon, Connecticut. Today I'll be showing you a drill that we used to warm up with at Boston College. The reason why I like this drill is because at the beginning of practice, it helps you get your feet moving, warm up your hands, gets you receiving and giving passes, and also warming up the goalies. The drill starts with the player starting here, skating backwards this way. While he's skating backwards, the player in the front of the line will be one-touch passing back and forth. What I mean by one-touch passing is that a player receives the puck and in one motion receives it and pushes it back towards the player where the puck's coming from. When the players are one-touch passing, it is important that they stay low in a strong hockey position with their arms out in front of them and their stick on the ice. A one-touch pass helps the players get their hands involved in the drill, allowing them to warm up for the later part of practice. The player will continue skating backwards one-touch passing until the hash marks where he'll stop and explode forward. The player skating backwards is really moving back quickly. This stop is with 2 feet, a good backward stop, and transitions to forward, moving their feet quickly. That's part of the drill, is to get our feet moving for warm-up so that we're warmed up for the rest of practice. While this is happening, he skates forward while still one-touch passing until this player reaches the blue line. After the player reaches the blue line, he will then pan out. The pass will come from the first player in line all the way across to the first player in line on the other side of the rink. This player must pivot to ensure that the puck is in his vision as it comes across the ice. After pivoting, the player must skate forward with his head up and his stick on the ice at all times. This player will continue up, forwards, around the dot, inside the dot, a nice touch pass right back on his tape, attempting to catch this pass in stride, therefore being able to catch the pass quickly. He will stay wide and take a shot low on the ice. Once the first player in line has bumped the puck back, he then begins skating backwards back to the hash mark, one-touch passing with the next player in line, stopping at the hash mark, and then exploding forward. All the while, one-touch passing until the blue line. When that second player in line will then pass the puck across the ice to the player on the far side. And this player will repeat the drill, coming back around and getting a pass from here, also taking a shot, staying wide. It's important for the players to take shots from the top of the circle outside the dots and also low on the ice in order to warm the goalies up for the rest of practice. That's one of the drills that we used to warm up with at Boston College. Thanks, Coach York, for contributing to Gotta Love Connecticut Hockey. I'm Ben Smith from the Chicago Blackhawks, and you gotta love Connecticut hockey.
Who do you think would be the best superhero turned hockey player?
Probably the Hulk.
Superman, Spider-Man,
Superman.
Batman.
Superman.
Iron Man. Superman.
The Daredevil.
Who's that?
Ben Affleck. Daredevil.
Oh, okay.
Probably Superman.
I think I'm going to have to go with Superman like the rest of the guys did.
And do you think that he would use his web powers to get the puck into the goal?
Yeah, definitely would. He'd be like all, and yeah.
Do you think that he would have any experience out on the ice?
Well, if it's Ben Affleck, yeah, he's from Boston. He's a big fan of the game, so yes.
And what do you think Superman would do out on the ice?
Probably be defense and take amazing slap shots that would just go through the goalie's hand.
Do you think that he would ever use his skates, or do you think he'd just fly around?
Probably use his skates, because I don't know if it'd be technically legal to fly around on the ice.
Do you think he would fly during hockey or no?
Yeah,
I would.
Uses skates.
Fly.
Who do you think would be the best hockey player turned action hero?
Probably Zdeno Chara, Yager,
Wayne Gretzky.
Henrik Lundqvist.
Zdeno Chara,
Pavel Datsyuk.
Patrice Bergeron.
Zdeno Chara.
Tim Thomas.
Crosby.
Marian Gaborik.
And what do you think his superpower would be?
His speed.
Motivation.
Speed, Strength,
His speed. A really hard shot.
Strength,
Quick reflexes.
General great hockey sense and his ability to play the game.
How many pounds of snow is a Zamboni capable of removing in an ice resurfacing? Is it 1,000 pounds, 2,500, 3,500, or 4,000? We have Joanne with 2,500 and Scott with 1,000. The correct answer is 2,500, so we finally have a score, Joanne. It's 1-0 now. What is a Zamboni's top speed? When we come back, find out the answer. This program is made possible in part by contributions from Connecticut Hockey Conference. Connecticut Hockey Conference is responsible for developing youth hockey and happy, healthy kids all winter long across Connecticut. For more information on how you can join the winter fun, go to cthockey.org. Connecticut Hockey Conference is Connecticut's USA Hockey affiliate and a proud supporter of Gotta Love Connecticut Hockey. Before the break, we asked, what is a Zamboni's top speed? We have Joanne with 15 miles per hour and Scott with 18 miles per hour. Well, you were halfway to it, I guess. 9 is the correct answer. Throughout his 19 years as the Quinnipiac Bobcats head coach, Rand Pecknold has developed the team into a Division I nationally ranked program. Let's hear Rand's favorite moments as a coach and how his team is successful academically and athletically. Being so successful in your coaching career, what has been one of your favorite moments coaching?
I always remember when we upgraded Division I, the first time we played at Maine, and Sean Walsh was the coach there. They just won a national championship. That was a big moment for me, like for our program, to make that big jump. Now we do that all the time. We play #1 team in the nation. We've been ranked in the top 10, so it's not as big a deal anymore, but I always remember that. That was a big jump. Going to the NCAA tournament in 2002 was a great experience for us also. But a lot of good memories. I've been here 18 years and certainly look to a few more.
What do you look for when recruiting a student or an athlete for Quinnipiac?
Well, there's a lot of things. I mean, hockey is certainly a big part of the puzzle. They need to be a good player with talent, possess talent. I think the competitiveness is huge. We don't want lazy kids. We want kids that compete and battle. A big part of our component recruiting is the character. We have a great locker room, great kids. I mean, they live hockey. They eat and breathe it. Hockey's their life. But at the same point, they go to class. They know that hockey's going to end for them at some point, whether they play pro or not. They're going to have to go out in that real world, and we want to make sure they have their education done. And those are the type of kids that fit well for us. We have really good students here. I think we had a team GPA of almost a 3.4 last semester, which we're pretty proud of. So you got to kind of have the whole package.
What's unique about Quinnipiac?
It's a great university. You know, it's a great place to work, great place to go to school. The rink is one of the best in the Northeast for college hockey. Great education, class sizes are small. The other thing for hockey players that come here, we have a great group of guys, and those are going to be your best friends for life. Our guys are excited every day to come to the rink. They're fired up, they're ready to roll, they have a good time. When it's time to work, we get to work, but it's a good group of guys.
Why do you think that your team is so successful academically?
I think there's a number of reasons for that. One is we definitely recruit good students. An additional major reason why we have success is the culture in our locker room. And I remember vividly in high school, coming in, I got good grades one semester, and I didn't want to tell anybody because you get picked on for having good grades. The guys are proud of having a 3.6, 3.7, 3.8, and we post the highest GPAs, and we give out an award for it. So we want that culture. I think we had 21 of our 27 players with over 3.0. So there's peer pressure to do well instead of peer pressure to not do well, and I think that's a big reason why we're successful academically.
What advice can you give to Connecticut hockey players?
I think it's great for young kids to play a lot of different sports. Like I try to have my son play multiple sports, become a better athlete, do other things. I don't think you need to play hockey 12 months a year. Certainly, as you get older, you need to specialize a little bit, maybe when you get to 11 or 12. But I think at 7, 8, 9 years old, play other sports, find what you like. The other thing I would say too is I don't know. I see a lot of this in youth hockey. Kids are jumping around youth group to youth group. I don't think you really need to do that. I think one of the great things I always learned growing up playing hockey is some of my best friends in life that I'm still friends with today are kids I played youth hockey with. and I played 8-10 years in a row with them. And I see some of these kids now that play for 7 youth organizations in 7 years trying to get better things. I don't know if that's really the right direction.
What are you looking forward to in your upcoming hockey season?
On paper, we should be pretty good. We've got some pretty good players that are returning. Connor and Kellen Jones are coming back for their junior year, and Matthew Peck is coming back for his sophomore year, and Jeremy Langlois and Eric Hartzell, and the list goes on and on. So we've got, on paper, we got a nice team, and we just need to make sure we compete. And really, probably the biggest thing for us to have a great year is to avoid the injuries. But if we stay healthy, this should be a great year for us.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your coaching insights with us. We really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
How many years have you been coaching?
This will be my 3rd year.
I've been involved in hockey for 41 years. I've been coaching for 20 of those years at various levels.
And how many years have you been playing hockey?
4 years.
6 to 7 years.
7 or 8.
7 or 8 years.
11 years. 4 or 5 years. 7 years. 10 years. 5 years.
So you said that you've only been playing for 4 years. How have you become successful playing hockey?
Well, I've always had great coaches, and before I did hockey, I did some learn to skate and figure skating.
By all the coaches teaching me like what to do and how to play.
What made you want to be a goalie?
Just it's an interesting position. You don't have, there's much less goalies than there is players who skate out, and it's so much harder, and so that's what probably made me want to play.
What keeps you coming back to the rink each season?
It's just a lot of fun, and everyone makes it seem like a great time. You have a bunch of friends.
I like playing with my friends.
I like it, and I like to be with the team. I just love the game.
I love playing the sport, and all my friends play with me.
Something my dad played, and so I just wanted to keep playing too, and it's fun.
Just coming and skating. It's really fun.
I don't know, I just love the competitiveness of the sport. It's just really good and intense, and I get a good workout from it.
Just a passion for the game, just to be around the rink, be around the kids.
I love teaching the kids. I love when they respond. I love when they learn, and just the passion of the game.
Parents that support us, the team, and the coaches.
Thanks for joining us for today's show. If you want to join in on the winter fun, go to connecticuthockey.org. Join us next time for more stories on Connecticut's hockey people, culture, friendships, and fun.